Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back once again to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name's Mark Love, and today I'm going to be walking around a really great used coach. This is a 2023 Mountain Aire, and it's the 4118 floor plan, which is one of the better floor plans out there. Dutch Star Ventana have a very similar floor plan. It's not as long as most of the Mountain Aires, which are 45, and has the full wall slide bath and a half. We'll talk about that on the inside. But first of all, with this Mountain Aire, we're on a Spartin K3 chassis. It's a 500 horse Cummins, which if you compare that to a Dutch Star, which is an 8.9 liter, 450 horse, that has 1,250 foot-pounds of torque. When you go to the Mountain Aire, that jumps up to the heavier 54,000 pound chassis. You have 500 horsepower, but your torque goes up to 1,695 foot-pounds. That's a big jump. And there's a lot of other jumps between the Dutch Star and the Mountain Aire. It's probably the biggest gap or separation in features and price as you go up the line. And I'm gonna try to point those out today. One thing when we get inside I'm gonna wanna demonstrate is the air leveling system. And if you can kind of get a look at how this sits right now, I drove it over. The airbags are still up a little bit, but as we finish this, I'll walk out and you'll see the difference in the air leveling. So let's walk around the front first of all. Like I say, this is the Spartin K3 chassis. It's 41 feet 10 inches bumper to bumper, 13 feet 2 inches tall. It has a gross vehicular weight of 54,000 pounds. And the nice thing about this, the 54,000 pound chassis is about as big as you get. And like your King Airs, your Essex, they'll have the 605, they'll have heavier components. Having this big chassis means you get more payload capacity, and it's actually 11,500 pounds on this model, which is pretty good. And another thing it has, we have the 12,500 generator, and I'm going to show you right now. It's on an electric slide. This unit has 3 air conditioners, and like I say, this is the big generator. You see how easy it is to step right inside there if you want to do any maintenance or check your oil, stuff like that. You still have like windshield wiper fluid. Right above that you can see there's a nozzle, hot water actually, to the front of the coach. And the nice thing about that, they provide a little window washer for your windshield, so you can, it's an extendable one. You can use hot water to wash off your windshield. And then you notice also there is a quick connect for your air right there up front. So very convenient and easy to get to. I love this slide mechanism, and it's the Mountain Aire where that feature starts. While we're in this compartment, we might as well walk down the driver's side of the coach. Most of what we have here are our chassis components. They do give you some spare fuses right there. If your blinker's not working or maybe your seat's not moving, come out, find the fuse and check that. Like I say, right here is your little windshield washing tool. Nice that they provide that. Okay. This is a fuel fill, and we have one on each side. And most of you that have watched our videos, you've seen us talk about the Newmars. There's a lot of things that they do different. And over time, I sort of forget to mention them or point it out. So I'm going to try to get back to old school and give you the whole 9 yards today. One thing about Newmar, their slogan is "when you know the difference." And it really is more than just words. One of the differences is right here at the fuel fill. Most of them have a heavy rubber or maybe steel flexible line in there, which Newmar does too, but they protect it right here by a steel plate. So if you're to shred this tire, you're not going to shred that fuel line because it's protected by steel. That's something that's easy to check on any motorhome. Just see if they've got protection for that fuel line. Another thing I'll point out, Newmar does what they call the flush wall slides. And you can see it real well right here. This is your full wall slide. The difference between a flush wall slide and a normal slide, this little trim or piece of fascia on a normal one is going to extend over your sidewall. So there's a place that wind and rain can get in right here. And actually, they find out that there's as much noise from the wind around your slide outs, your windows, your doors, as there is from the noise in the engine. Of course, the engine's in the rear. So having these sidewalls that tuck inside, or this slide out that tucks inside the sidewall, it prevents that rain, that wind from getting in there. It's a tighter seal. It's a smoother and a quieter ride. Another thing Newmar does, it's a little bit different. Okay, let's take a look at our some of our compartments. Now, this is our battery compartment. It is on a pull-out trail, a couple of pegs there, and it'll slide out. And this coach has the 8 AGM batteries. I know lithium-ion is becoming kind of a fad, or it's an option, and they're great batteries, but there's nothing wrong with these. It's what they've used for years and years, and when I see 8 batteries, it tells me this is an all-electric coach. There's no propane with it. You get a residential refrigerator, an induction cook surface, and well, let's just move on. This is first of our storage compartments. You can see it's a full pass-through right there. One of the things I like to point out, and we can get a shot of it right here, I guess, it's called the Star Foundation. And when Newmar does their Star Foundation, which stands for strong, true, and robust, what they're building is a steel superstructure welded on to the chassis. It comes out, supports your outer compartments. It's gusseted here out to the sidewalls. And mainly, if you look at this floor joist way up here, it's not touching the chassis rail. What this whole superstructure does is just make it a more rigid frame, makes for a better driving experience. As you go down the road, you're not twisting every pothole, which could crack a tile or pop a grout. Maybe that's a bad thing to bring up as I point out the fact they give you a few extra tiles, but with the stronger structure underneath, it can support the residential appliances and having tile all the way back to the bedroom. The heavier components aren't as likely to crack your floor as they are in some models. Okay, here we've got our Oasis Chinook, dual loop, on-demand, hot water, provides your coach furnace or heat, burns the diesel from your fuel tank. Like I say, no propane on this. This is a great system. It's a little bit quieter, a little cleaner burning than the AquaHots, and it has 2 electric elements, which is a nice feature in kind of moderately cold weather. You may not need to turn on your diesel. This compartment, we've got our 50 amp power reel. That is a manual out, and then it's an electric in. We also have our surge protector transfer switch right there, place to bring in like park cable, or maybe you have a portable satellite that you want to use. And if you notice, these LED lights come on whenever you open a door. Again, this is a 2023 Mountain Aire with like 5,000 miles. This is a great coach with a lot of great features, and I'll point out as many as I can. So here is the water compartment. Everything is labeled real well, kind of etched in there, embossed, I guess, so it's not going to come off. You do have your outside shower right here, a power rewind for your water hose, as well as your electric. These are our fill guide if we're going to run off city water or manually fill our fresh water tank, which is 105 gallons, by the way, and that has 80 gallons of gray, 60 gallons of black. Over here we do have our low point drains, black tank rinse. They even give you a gray tank rinse that's kind of nice. Whole house filter. You can see we do have a winterize. That's what that blue is in there. Everything's easy to access. You can even see your dump valves in the back. Another thing, I like to point this out. Here's a little difference with the Newmar. Get an eye on this hinge right here in this door, and you notice as I close it how it raises up. You wonder, why would they do that? Well, this is the full wall slide that comes out and drops about 3 or 4 inches. If they didn't do that, you'd have to have a shorter compartment door. It couldn't be as tall because it would catch this part of the slide out. So very unique feature right there. We do have side docking lights. Back here at the rear axles, you notice there are different hubs. Well, this is a steerable tag axle, and you get a 55-degree wheel cut up front. That's somewhere, I believe it's 12 to 14 degrees that this is going to cant. They refer to it as a passive steer axle. So when you're backing into a campsite that's really tight, you're not scrubbing your tires. If you're under 20 miles an hour, they're going to tilt for you and cut down that turning radius. Makes it a lot easier when you're maneuvering this coach in town. And the fact that it's not a 45-footer with the big chassis, with the big tires, with the bigger engine, it just makes it a dream driving compared to some of the other bigger models. Okay, we do have a little cubby here. I see they've stored their sewer hose in there. And then back here is our DEF fill. Now we have one on each side, so when you go to fill up, you can fill up from either side, both DEF and fuel. And that'll be 15 gallons. Roughly it's 10% of your fuel tank, and this has a 150-gallon fuel tank with it. Okay, and then the side radiator. This is another feature when you get to the luxury coaches, the bigger engines that you're going to see on almost all of them. They're bigger, they get better airflow, they cool better than the radiators that are in the rear. So anything from Dutch Star on up in a Newmar product, you're going to get that radiator. Okay, let's take a look at the back. We'll start with our 12-liter Cummins 500-horse engine. You can see without that radiator how easy it is to access transmission fluid here, oil dipstick over here. You've got your coolant right there, engine oil fill. You also have Oasis fluid here. This gauge tells me we're about halfway through this filter. It's measuring the air pressure. I can reset that down to 0, and after I drive it, kind of tells me how dirty my air filter is getting. Want to keep an eye on that. We do have a plug here for our block heater. Everything very easy to access. Okay, down here we do have our 2-inch receiver rated at 15,000 pounds, 7-way plug. And then we also are set up for our air brakes. If you're pulling with like an Air Force One, there's an integrated Curt Spectrum brake controller with the Spartin chassis. Again, 15,000 pounds tow rating and a 54,000 pound chassis, which is, like I say, about as big as they get. Okay, as we come, before we go too far, sorry to do this, I did want to point out the window awnings, and I will open the slide out when we get inside. I want you to see how tight it is. But you get your window awnings, you get your slide toppers, and then over here on the passenger side, you see our main awnings, and this is the Girard Nova awning package. You can see how nice that is, covers the whole side over here. This is an egress door right behind your toilet, so if you do have to get out in an emergency, makes it a little easier than climbing out the window. Here we see our chassis batteries, our master shutoff switch for the chassis, water separator right there. Another really cool feature on your Spartans. Right here's our DEF tank. That's that 15-gallon DEF tank. And above it, you can see you've got your emergency override for your air system. If for some reason you lose power or you need to be towed and you can't start it, your air compressor won't, fire up or fill up, you can manually fill your airbags right here with an independent compressor. Okay, let's see. We've got storage compartment here, and behind there is a water tank. I like the fact that they give you a rack for tools or oil or whatever you want to keep there, pegboard to hang some tools on. This compartment's got about a 3/4, I guess, pull-out tray. On the other side is your Oasis system. Also, you have the vacuum, and I like the fact that you can plug your hose in and vacuum out your compartments out here. You've got a place to plug that in both inside and out. Over here, we've got a lot of, most compartments have 110, but you can see we've got a satellite input there. These are our slide-out controllers. Everything's easy to access. This is our forward storage compartment, and I actually kind of like the fact that they didn't put a slide out in here, because you lose a couple inches in height, you lose a couple inches on each side, so you have a smaller compartment. And if you're still nimble enough, and I'm not all that tall, it's easy to reach to the middle in here. And then up in the front compartment, we have our outside refrigerator freezer. Now, it does have dual zones, so you could set one for frozen food, another one for drinks. And they added this shelf above it too, which is a great little storage area. Maybe your lawn chairs or something like that could go up there. Okay, and then once again, fuel fill, and that is protected with that steel plate right there. Heavy duty grab handle with your keyless entry right here. So let's go ahead and pop inside. And again, as this comes out, I want you to just kind of look where the step is, and then after I air level it, we're going to show you what the difference is. Okay, this is the Beckford decor, I think they call it, and I actually like it with the glacier glaze cabinets and so forth. I'll walk through that in a minute, but as long as we come in right here, I wanted to point out a couple of quick features here on the dash. And one nice one is right here on our auto leveling. I'm going to go back and show you where this is on your main screen. Right there, if you hit your air leveling, and then brings up this screen. I like to go down to more and hit it, because it brings up these little levels. And we're in travel mode right now. I'm going to put this on auto level and go ahead and start that. And you'll be able to see right away, we're starting to tilt. And this is going to take, at least a minute, maybe more, by the time it does all the adjustments. There seems to be a debate among, do you run your slides out first and then level, or do you level first and then run the slides out? Generally, I do run the slides out. I left the back one out here, but I wanted to show you what this is like when it's closed up. And while we're here, point out how this auto leveling, you can see how those bubbles are coming side to side. They're pretty good. Now it's gonna raise the rear or lower the front or whatever it needs to make a level. But this is a nice feature that you get when you step up to the Mountain Aire. Now, while we're over here, let's take a look at some of the other features. We've got the 10-inch monitor here, and on our, let's get into the camera control. On our camera control, you can see we've got quite a few choices. Right now we're looking out the back, kind of a medium angle. If I'm hooking up to a trailer, I can look straight down out the back, or I can get more of a bird's eye view there. You can look at each of your 6 cameras you have individually. Those 6 cameras go together and kind of make this bird's eye view for you, which is great maybe when you're in an RV park with some really close neighbors. You want to keep an eye on what's going on out there. But just a really nice camera. You can leave this on all the time if you're pulling a trailer and see it. Okay, over here, simple controls for our visor and shade right here. Gen start, courtesy lights, docking lights. We do have a couple of fans. Those are our overhead window fans on that side. As you can see, this is still leveling a little bit, but we're almost there. Over here on the left side, what we've got, most of these are our lights, our overhead lights or our high beams and low beams. We do have our air horn switch if you want to let the big boys know you're around. Chassis and house battery, so you can boost if one is low or the other. Another thing about the steering wheel, these pedals actually are controlled by this knob right here. You can bring them out to you, and then I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. Another nice option that they added right here is my comfort control now. For my comfort steer, if I'm on the highway, I might want to turn that up to 4 or 5, and then when I'm driving around, you know, in the city or in an RV park, I might turn it down. What your comfort drive is a computer-assisted steering setup, sensing the torque, the wind, you know, different variations in the road, and it keeps the wheel in the center position. When you come out of a turn, basically it returns to this position on its own, so it's a much less stressful driving situation on your arms and shoulders. Okay, and then let's take a quick look here. This is our main control panel. So these are the slide outs. I'm going to run those out in a minute. Exterior lights. This is the Girard awnings. You control them right there. Now these are 110 awnings. When I put them out this morning, the generator was running, so I didn't have to worry about it. But without the generator, what I would need to do is go to my AC power, and I can see the inverter popped on by itself actually. So now I have 110 power through my inverter. So like say this is your other main screen, that's your house batteries. Generator is off, but it does have the auto gen start, which allows you to program it to come on as you get low. Right here's our climate. You can see the Oasis. We've got 2 electric elements that are enabled right now, so they're on. We have 1 diesel burner. On a really cold day, I'm going to come in and turn all 3 of those on, and then I'm probably also going to go to my floor heat. I've got 3 zones here with electric floor heat right in this electric grid, right in the thin set under the towel, so it heats up quite quickly. Those are your controls. You have some of your privacy drapes here, window awnings, and your wine guard for your satellite, all right here. And then also, let me go ahead and show you, do have a little bit of storage up here. You get more here. Now, this coach generally comes with a TV right here. This one was ordered with the extra storage instead of a 4th TV. A little bit more there. Right there is our Wi-Fi Ranger. Keep you connected while you're on the road. You also have the cell chargers for both the driver and passenger. And then you do get a little workstation here. There we go. All right, and let me get past you and just kind of show you what it's like when you travel. You can see you've got enough room to make your way through here. And a lot of people, it's not just them, it's their pets also. If you've got a big dog, you know, a retriever, a shepherd, something along that line, they're not going to be tripping or really fighting to get through here and get into your bedroom. And when you get into the middle, it's easy to get into the half bathroom. And also, you can access your refrigerator without any problem. So just kind of wanted to give you an idea of how you travel. And I am going to go ahead and open up these slides. One thing you may want to get a shot of is right here is our HWH. It's a very heavy duty mechanism for our main full wall slide. And it takes a minute for the, oops, I'm not going in. So you can see the drive mechanism there, how heavy duty it is. And I'm going to go ahead and run these both out at the same time. If you look down at the trim strip on the floor, you're a couple inches off the tile. There is a roller under there, but that roller doesn't touch the floor. If it did, you would see the marks that it left behind. So it's just a great system. Once it gets all the way out, it takes a few seconds to drop down, so we'll wait for that. There's my kitchen slide out. Oops. And there we go. And go ahead and shut that off. So you do get a couple of footstools with this model. We also have a hide-a-bed couch here. I'm not going to pull this out right now, but on the other side, you also have a jackknife. Let's see, how's this release? Ah, there we are. Well, there we are. You got to give it a little tug sometimes. So the thing about this, it's big enough for a kid or somebody could sleep here, but you can't use them both at the same time. You're only going to use one or the other. There we go. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the 4118 model over here behind your jackknife couch. Got a little storage with the area for our video components. Right here, we do have, let's see, there we go, our televator popping up. You have several of these Silverleaf or multiplex panels throughout. Mostly, when you have one here, it's going to control the lights and everything in this area. The main one, you have one over the driver's seat and then one back in the bedroom. But if I wanted to turn off my overhead lights or dim them, I could do it right there. My accent lights, wall lights, same thing. And these are on dimmers, so it's kind of nice. You can, you know, set it for whatever the mood is. But they mainly just control the ones right here. This panel, on the other hand, let me see. I can get in and turn all of my main overhead lights on and off right here. So that's kind of nice when you're coming in and going out the door. Okay, next to the TV, we have our kitchen area. And again, this is the Beckford decor with the glacier glaze cabinets. Some good storage here. Nice pull out. Makes it easier for people that aren't quite as tall to reach the back. We do have a convection microwave. Now, there is an option for a dishwasher, but this one we didn't put it in. So you get these 3 extra storage compartment drawers. Like I say, a dishwasher could be swapped out. We also have a little extension here. There we go. And there are 3 drawers here. All of these are with the soft close feature. Right here is our induction cook surface. And true induction, basically anything, any pot or pan that a magnet sticks to will work. That includes your cast iron. They do make special, you know, pots and pans for induction, but as long as it's metallic, you're okay. And another nice thing, this will come out. You can unplug it there, take it outside under your awning, and maybe you're cooking fish or something you don't want to leave a nasty smell inside. And you can see there's nice cutting boards there on the opposite side. This is our deep undermount stainless steel sink. Nice residential type sprayer there. Underneath we have some more storage. Even the little areas are used for something. Pull out for your trash can there, and another one for cleaning supplies or whatever. If you look over on this side, you can see they've got some little wedges for your sink cover or your stove cover if you want to put them down there while you're using it. All right, across from the kitchen, we've got our dinette. And let me get these lights on. There we go. Get my wall lights. There we go. So first of all, overhead, 3 nice open compartments. They've got great looking hidden hinges, hardware. It fits with this maple, glazed maple. And I kind of like the white color. This is the high gloss finish also. Another thing about this table, this extends out quite a ways. You actually have 2 leaves, and there's a support right here that's just magnetic. So when you put it down, put your 2 leaves in. I think you can see that you could easily get 6 people around here my size. You know, 4 at the booth. There's a couple of folding chairs I'll show you when we get in the bedroom. But you've got a big table here. And then again, to put it back, you just kind of flip that up. It sticks to a magnet. And there you go. And then over on this side, we do have 4 more cabinets. Again, I like the fact they're open. You can get a lot of items back there, longer items. This is very deep. It goes all the way back to the wall there. This does have the electric shades. So if I'm in here and kitchen, living room, day shades, I want to bring them all down. Can do the same with the night shades. You do have the blackout shades for up front too. So that makes it kind of nice at night when you're getting ready to watch TV. All right, let's move back into the middle of the coach. First of all, there is a 19.7 cubic foot residential refrigerator. You can see how much room you've got there. Next to that, we have a little pantry with 4 full pull-out drawers. And I like what they did at the bottom for this year. Maybe you've got cookie sheets or taller items you want to store in there, rather than making it drawers all the way down. You can take that out and use it for storage too, but I think that's a good improvement that they made. Right here we have our half bath, and I'm just going to open a couple of things up. Fuses right there, and circuit breakers, don't really need to see that. There is a nice size medicine cabinet. I'll let you get in there and pan around. And the beauty is the way these slides come in, the way they hinge that door, it makes it easy for people of all sizes to get into the half bathroom when you're traveling. And of course, that way you don't have to roll over the bed or crawl over the bed to get to the rear bathroom. You can see the way it's kind of hinged in the center, so the door doesn't open up from one side all the way, which would make a kind of tight when your other slide is in. Okay, and then let's move back into the bedroom. We do have a nice king bed, and this is an air mattress bed. on both sides of the bed, if you look down there, you've got some 110 outlets, USBs, little slot that, you know, if you want to run your phone charger or something up through that. And that's on both sides. May not be quite big enough for some of the sleep machines, so they do give you, there's another plug up there. And over on the side, there's a little access port that if you were using a sleep apnea machine or something like that, you could drop it down. Just nice trim. They did a really great job on these. 2 functioning windows if you want to open them up, get that cross breeze coming through here, turn on some of your fantastic fans underneath. You can see the 2 table leaves and the 2 folding chairs that match the fabric. Okay, and this actually has a nice solid door here. It's not a cheap interior door to close things off for you. Across from the bed, we have a little wardrobe. One of these on each side. Behind it here, we've got our other main Silverleaf panel, so you can control everything right here, from all of your lights down to your climate if you want, get to your gen start, floor heat, just like you've got up front. Again, these controls here are more for the bedroom lights and so forth. Underneath, we've got 5 pull-out drawers and then a compartment here for video components. They still provide you. People are using streaming services a lot more now than satellites, it seems like, but they still have an area for that. A couple of more nice deep drawers. And then you do have another egress window right there. By the way, that awning right there is controlled by this switch. And that's nice in the afternoon when the sun is really low, coming out of the west. You can keep that from blaring in. All right, and then that brings us to the bathroom. So it's only a 41-footer, 41 feet 10 inches. You don't get the double sink. Those typically start at 43 feet. But when you come in, you see you've got a good size shower with the teak seat, great looking tile work. You can see how much room you have overhead, and it's got the water miser system. What that does is it basically is recirculating your fresh water while you're waiting for it to heat up. Goes back into the holding tank. Once this turns red and it's hot, you flip your switch, take your shower, now you're filling your gray tank. So the beauty is you're saving fresh water and you're not filling your gray tank as fast. You do have a nice overhead shower head and then a wand here. Over here we've got a little bit of a linen area, I guess I would call it. And then another wardrobe area. You have your safe back in there. Great looking vanity here. Deep medicine cabinet. You can really adjust these lights. Let's see, maybe I don't even want my ceiling lights on, and I'm gonna go and dim my vanity lights. Let's just keep on the mirror lights so I can look at myself better. But you can really set it up for a nice little atmosphere back here. Get those ceiling lights back on. Storage, you can see the vacuum hoses right there and your attachments. A couple of pull-out drawers here. This is our stackable washer and dryer. Over here by the toilet is another good storage area. And, you know, in these units, the 45-footers typically have a full closet across the back. You look for areas to store larger items. I like the fact that this pulls out. And, you know, if you've got some items that are a little bit taller, you can find a place to put them. Then 3 more adjustable shelves right here. This is our emergency exit. If I were to pull this panel off, there is a ladder that drops down, so makes it very easy to get out in the case of an emergency. And it's only a one-way door. Nobody can open that from the outside. Okay, and I haven't talked about the ceiling yet, but nice padded ceiling. You can see in here how they do this decorative touch. They cover their air conditioning vents so you don't see those little round pucks coming down. You do see a couple of speakers here and there for your surround sound system. Once again, this is a used 2023 Mountain Aire 4018 model with about 5,000 models, just in great shape. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can contact me at 970-631-0083, call or text. Email me at mlove@transwest.com. And I guess this is just a couple of days till Thanksgiving, so have a nice Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families. Drive careful out there. Like always, my friends, happy trails. I'll see you next time.